Good afternoon, folks. Hope everything is awesome on your end. I am Sean in Alaska. Before I scroll back and say hi to everybody, because that's what I like to do, let me know if the audio and the video is okay, because I've actually got this sitting on top of the table downstairs, my kitchen, and I want to make sure that the distance from the mic isn't causing anything to be messed up here. So I'll just wait and see how the audio and the video is on your end. Hi, Liz. How are you? Good to see you. Liz Weekly, GBL, the old church 5-acre homestead. Good to see you as well. Sound and video check. Awesome. Let me scroll back up here. Thank you for that, Jerry. Much appreciated. And I will say hello to you first because I literally had just set this stream up about 2 hours ago. And while I was in there posting the little link on there for the calendar, Jerry had already said, hi, how you doing? Even though he was about 2 hours early. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. Miri, hope you are still here. It is live now. Joseph Padoni, good to see you, my friend. I met you over at Mapleberry Farms, MBF Off Grid. Always see you in the live chats there, and it's awesome to have you over here as well. Turns out we are the same age. We're both reminiscent about the Miracle on Ice, the 1980s United States Olympic hockey win, which was freaking awesome. Just awesome. Matt A.K., good to see you, my friend. Saw Jerry again. Good to see you. Arthur, Art, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Saw Yvonne pop in. Good to see you as well with your big old day. Who day? David Evans, glad you could make it as well. Having a fantastic Sunday. Jess from Rain Dance Bushcraft, a great channel. Good to see you, my friend. Jim at Woolly Rhino Adventures. Good to see you as well. Peanut Trucker, glad you could make it. Everybody's hero, it seems like lately. The Vineyard Farmhouse, glad you could make it. Good to see you today, my friend. David Briggs, how are you today? All is well, staying safe and warm, but very humid in the cabin. If you can't tell behind me, we'll give you a quick move around with the camera here when I get through with all the hellos. But a lot of humidity inside the building today. Dan Lehman, good to see you, my friend. Right? Okay, yep, we'll show you that again. I just talked about that a minute ago. Rokan Matana, good to see you as well. Glad you could make it. Surviving behind liberal lines. You guys in California have gotten so much rain this year. It is. I talked to my mom today on the phone, and she goes, "This is the winter that would not end." She's in the Sierra Nevada foothills, just north of Yosemite, and up in the mountains above Oakdale and Modesto. And she said, "Man, the Sierra snowpack is just huge this year." Scrolling on down, Joe Montano, good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it as well. I love it. I love the thumbs up. Every time you guys give a thumbs up, it tells YouTube, hey, people like this. Maybe we should suggest this. Todd, the man, the myth, the legend, who's without his help, I would not be sitting in here today because these rafters would not be in place. Todd, the man. Alan, good to see you, my friend in North Carolina. Great to have you here. Clicked on that. There we go. Thank you very much, David. David mentioned the new intro. I like to do a little something at the beginning of the lives. So that way, if there's any advertisements or anything, you don't miss when we go live. So I put that little intro together. I think I'll be doing one every year, basically on what I've accomplished over the previous years with the help of great people like Todd, Ward, Brian, moral support from Brother Will, all that kind of stuff has gone a huge, huge way into getting everything to where it is today. Joe says, jealous health issues. I can never. Joe, I didn't know I really had health issues like I do until I started doing this. Man, if you want to find out if you've got any or not, take on a project like this. You'll find out real quick. Built on the Rock Homestead. Good to see you. Greater Newfoundland. Awesome, awesome. And Labrador. Very cool. What's your time there right now? Because I think you guys have a time zone that is completely different than anywhere else, right? I think you're on the half hour as opposed to the rest of us all being on the hour. But I watch a couple of channels in Newfoundland, and when they go live, it's really at a weird time all the time. Thank you, Joseph. Most definitely. Like I said before, if you smash the like button, it throws it out there to other people. Thank you very much. It's really, really coming together. The place is really coming together. And I'm scrolling down and catching up. If you have a comment or a question and I miss it, do me a favor and throw it in again, and do it in caps the second time, because I like to make sure that I say hello to everybody and address every comment that everybody may have. And I could very easily miss it scrolling through here. The reason why I use the program that I use is when I highlight somebody like surviving behind liberal lines right here, it gives me a place mark. It tells me where I was at. So definitely leave ask the comment again. If I've already answered it, by the time I get down to it, I'll just skip over it. Grin and sitting in the cabin face, right? Hey, good to see you. And then we're back to where we pretty much started here with Liz's comment, Todd's comment, and now we're all on new ground. Looks great and sounds great. Perfect. Looks and sound 5x5. Awesome. Loud and clear, loud and clear. Thomas, good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it this week. Got me live finally. Awesome. I love that. Miracle on Ice, boo his. Come on, David. We never win that. It was awesome. It shouldn't have happened, and it was awesome the way that it did. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could pop in as well. It's the infamous Susan Scoville. Glad you can make it, Susan. I think I met you the first time on Russell's live at Raspberry Rock Books Fest off grid. And I messed with you, I think, a couple of times too. But it's good to see you. Glad you can make it. Hershey, Pennsylvania, checking in. Awesome. Lupo Egberts, good to see you. Greetings from the Netherlands. Awesome. Very cool. Remy at Rem's Family Farm, good to see you. Glad you can make it in. On the east coast of Canada. I know it's crazy, right? So I'm friends and a fan of MBF Off Grid, and they've moved towards the east coast. And where last year they just had a ton of snow. It's like massive snowstorm, then some rain, nothing, bare ground again, then massive snowstorm. But the east coast has been really wild this year. While I try not to get political, my friend, there's nothing that's going to get them out of Sacramento. That's why Sean left California and is now Sean in Alaska. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful state. I'll just leave it at that. Man, everybody's awesome. Sam Jackson, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Jess says, big snow there as well. Just tried to get to a spot to shoot a video today. Couldn't even get over an epic snow pile of trail. Man, nice. Nice. I like that. David, good. Glad you could make it from the UK. Awesome. Very cool. Thank you very much, Liz. I appreciate that. Mimsy's Garden, good to see you. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Marion Brown, good to see you as well. Just join the chat. Yes, it is. This is a futon here. And give me a couple more minutes to catch a little bit more up, and then I'll do a quick walk around with this camera like I did last time, because that seemed a lot of fun and folks liked it. Brook Trout, how are you? Glad you could make it today. In the 70s right now, ice conditions in the forecast. Wow, what a big temperature swing that is. That's crazy. Sam, hello again. Yeah, see, it's a half an hour different. Newfoundland's the only one that I know of that actually has a 30-minute time difference. I mean, I'm not worldly by any sake of the imagination. I'm an American who's only left his country twice, right? Once I went to Canada, once I went to Ireland. But Newfoundland has that 30-minute change. And the only reason why I know that is because, man, they've got some great Celtic music up there. Great Celtic music. And I'm a huge Celtic music fan. Henry Leslie, Vermont, how are you doing today? And Big Bear Preppin', good to see you as well. Glad you could pop in. Deborah Thacker, good to see you. Navy Dave, how you doing, my friend? I am kind of cozy, kind of cozy. I've got a lot of humidity in here. So let's do this. Let's spin the camera around right now. So I'm going to go off the screen and I'm going to talk, but I'm going to show you what we got going on in here. So, oh, this is going to be a mess because Sean didn't make sure the cord was all cleared up before he did it. Okay, give me a second here to move this cord. There we go. That's a little bit better. So this will give you an idea of what I got going on with humidity. There is literally water flowing down my windows. And the reason for that is because the entire inside of the cabin now has vapor barrier 100% over everything. Let me spin it around this way. So I've been doing nothing but hanging vapor barrier and taping vapor barrier off. So what I've had to do is that upstairs window there, the one that's on the right, I've had to go ahead and crack it open. And then I've got this downstairs window here cracked open as well. So there's a lot of moisture in here right now, and there's nothing I can really do about it except for keep the windows open and try and let some air circulate through here. So it's not as warm as it has been, but right now it is 60 degrees Fahrenheit downstairs, 67 degrees upstairs, and the humidity is pretty high, 69% downstairs and 63% upstairs. Let me put this back. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to be doing some, I got to move the layers of the scaffolding that I have inside out and put them under the cabin just to keep them protected. And then this week I'm picking up 2x4s and I'll be framing in the bathroom and I'll be framing in the kitchen as well. And then probably going to try and work on, well, after that I got to do the staircase that's going to go upstairs to the loft. I got to replace all of the OSB sheeting that I have for flooring upstairs in the loft with 3/4 inch plywood probably. And then I'll do that. I'll build the staircase. Well, I'll build the staircase, then I'll do that because it'll be a little easier to take the sheets up there with the staircase built. And then I'll probably move in. I'm like that close right now. But I want to get a couple of more things done first before I actually do the physical living in the place. Richard Young, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. William Stamm, good to see you, William. The ceiling height in the loft. I can't really think of the number off the top of my head right now, but I will tell you that about 6 feet from the edge, maybe 5 feet from the edge, you could stand straight up and down. So we're talking probably 10 feet. Well, a 9-foot ladder up there. Yeah, probably 10 or 11 feet tall at the peak in the ceiling. See, you're alive and well, still kicking and building that magic. Exactly, right? I am still alive and well. Scotty from Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. You got a new video out today too, Scotty. So do me a favor and make sure you share your link and share the links of some of the other channels in here so folks can check them out. Because basically, if they're a channel in here watching me, there's somebody that I probably watch as well. And everybody that hangs out in here seems to be pretty cool. So, you know, I don't think you'll find anything that you don't like by checking them out. And by all means, if we share a channel, that doesn't mean, hey, I expect you guys to go over there. But if it's something like grilling and you want to know some different stuff about how to barbecue, Scotty's Backyard Barbecue will tell you a whole bunch of stuff. Scotty will show you all kinds of stuff on grilling. And he's a pretty straight up, normal kind of guy. He's like me. We grew up in the same area, so. There we go. Newfoundland Labrador is 1.5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. Okay, cool. Excited to be here. Watching from Gander, Newfoundland and Labrador in Canada. Yep. Very cool. Whisper, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Newbie from Richmond, Virginia. Awesome. I love that. I like to hear on a pleasant channel. That is cool. I'm still planning a trip in May. Looking forward to meeting you. Definitely, Thomas. Yeah, you get up here in May, shoot me a message, and we'll do whatever we can to make that happen, to get together and at least, you know, share a beer, have a cup of coffee or whatever. Yeah, you know, I watched their video this morning, and they did get some snow. They did get dumped, so they've got some. I live in Alaska. That's all you need. Well, my whole family lives in California still. So I've got the oldest daughter with her 3 sons. I've got the youngest daughter with her daughter. Mom still lives there. My 3 brothers still live there. But yeah, it's a wonderful place to be from. JD, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope Rhonda's doing well as well. Yeah, so that is so there's 2 reasons why I'm dealing with the humidity that I'm dealing with right now, and one obviously is the propane heat, because if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, I've showed you what happens on the inside of the trailer. And then the other reason is because it did nothing but rain on this last year. I mean, this decking for the floor in the cabin here was soaking wet, even with a tarp on it, for months, because it just wouldn't quit raining. And then I didn't get the roof on before the snow fell. But since then, it's been drier in here. Things have been thawing out. And unfortunately, as they thaw out and that moisture escapes from everywhere, it goes right into the air. And that's where the humidity's coming from now. The tri-tip was excellent. Oh, it was delicious. I'm going to cheat, though, tonight. It'll probably be Spam for dinner. But that tri-tip, I ate that for 4 days. So the night that I cooked it, and then sandwiches for the next 3 days. Yum, yum, yum. Currently in Philadelphia, it's 40 degrees. And currently in Funny River, Alaska, the last time I checked before I went live, it was 30 degrees. So it is coming along great, Susan. It's coming along so freaking awesome. There's William. I do. If I got a wood stove in here, that heat is dry heat, and it would dry this place out in probably a week. But the issue is that there's no way I'll put a wood stove in here now until I get ready to put the metal on the roof, and that's because I don't want to open up the roof in the middle of winter. I have to wait until I know I'm going to have some dry weather so I can get that done. If I could run a dehumidifier when the propane heat is running, it would help. I'm looking. I actually was looking the other day online for a dehumidifier, because I'm running the generator almost every day right now, because I'm in here working all the time and I like to have lights while I'm working. And I'm thinking about picking one up because it would not hurt. But we'll see how it works doing the windows open and trying to get that air current going through, especially with these warmer temperatures I'm having right now. It really is coming together. It's coming together so awesome. Comment to David. Friends of MBS. Friends of MBF are awesome, and they recommend. Yeah, they're so awesome. Ashley and Jeremy and their daughter Sam are just such cool people. Sam's a hoot. Reminds me of my daughters when they were little. Vincenza, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Yes, Miri, we're here live. Jewish Redneck Prepper, my friend, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Shalom as well. I got Liz. I got a comment from Richard here. A diesel heater. There's actually a guy that watches the channel that's flying up here right now. And he'll be, I guess, in Anchorage tonight, but he's got a couple of diesel heaters. He's got property in Willow, and he's getting ready to do the same thing I just did. So the trailer life while he's building the cabin. And he was talking about bringing me one down. So a diesel heater might be in the future. The problem with a diesel heater for me is that they still require power. But I think that I've got some deep cycle batteries here that'll run it for quite a while. And the reason why a diesel heater works better than a propane heater is because it draws in outside air and vents outside, where the propane uses the air inside and vents inside. So that's the fight that I have with the propane, but the diesel would definitely be a better way to go. Kenai Caster, how you doing? Cabo, you're in Cabo San Lucas. That ain't right. I did, right? I'm getting a lot more done. The start was slow, and I get a lot of comments from folks that say, dude, you should be here already. You should have this done already. But I can't say it enough. I've never done this before, right? This is the first time I've ever tried to build anything. So in the beginning, progress was very, very slow. But as I get more and more comfortable using the tools and doing the things, it seems like things speed up quite a bit. Most of the taping on the vapor barrier happened in a total of about 3 hours. So, every single step of the way, I seem to be getting more comfortable doing it, and it's a ton of fun. But this is like the last time I'll ever be able to say I've never done something like this before, because I'm almost there. Well, there's still a lot to go on the cabin, and there's a lot to go exterior wise, interior wise. I'm going to have to pull the windows out in the summer and redo all those. It was basically to get it dried in so I could keep working. It's been an awesome experience. Kevin Wright, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. You got a lot of snow there finally? I did my best to send it to you. It will, but that generator is a 7,500, 9,500 watt generator, so it could handle that. It could handle the pull on it, definitely. Oliver Jackson, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to have you here today. Navy Dave's getting ready to do the same thing as well. He went to check on a subfloor out in Woodstock, Maine, had about 4 feet of snow on it, right? When spring comes, man, you're going to be going crazy. You're going to be going nuts. Build a box to fit in the window for the pipe and put it out the window for now. I'll look at it. I was actually thinking I'll just put a hole in the floor because where the wood stove is going to go, I would like to have a draw there as well. And then that way it could draw the air and vent that way as well. A barbecue Philly cheesesteak, if it could be done, Joseph, Scotty could do it. That's for sure. So what do I know about Cooper Landing? I may have an opportunity to live there for a couple of years rent-free in exchange for doing some renovation work on the cabin. Cooper Landing is probably one of the most beautiful areas of that Sterling Highway corridor that comes all the way down through Soldotna and into Homer. It is gorgeous. The fishing is incredible. It is beautiful in every season of the year. So if you have a chance to stay in Cooper Landing while you do some renos, go for it. Jump on it. It's got a great little brewery, the Cooper Landing Brewing Company. You're about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes away from Soldotna, which is a major shopping area, so you could get all your groceries and stuff here. They've got all the amenities as far as gas station, last minute, food and drink kind of stuff. They've got a couple of little restaurants up there, but nothing really fancy. And then you're probably about an hour and a half away from Seward as well. Jump on it. Cooper Landing's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. David, your cabin's airtight. That's what I did, David. I cracked the window down here and I cracked the window upstairs to try and get that, because I was noticing the humidity was a lot less up there. So I'm hoping the cold air coming in is going to force that warm, moist air up to the top. And it seems to be working. When I started, I was at 71% humidity downstairs and 68 upstairs. And right now we're at 67% downstairs and 62 upstairs. So that seems to be helping a bit. I'm also not seeing the rivulets dropping on the window like it was before. Ryan, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it again. Thank you very much, by the way, for sharing the videos. I saw a couple of posts that you did where you shared videos from the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Uh, 43 out of 57, right? We're getting closer. I like it. I like it. David, for someone that started with little to no experience building, I'd say you're knocking it out of the park, never die. You know what? That's the God's honest truth right there. I'm going to tell you that if you think you can do something, or if you have a passion to want to do something, do it, because you will learn. And I'm going to use this till the day I die. For those that were watching when I was trying to build the first beam and swinging a hammer on that first beam for this cabin underneath there. And I was doing that before I could build because we still had snow on the ground and the driveway was thawing out. And you watch how I swung a hammer then, and then just go back and look how I swung hammers, for example, when I was building the loft. The difference is night and day. So look at everything that you think you may want to do in life and do not be afraid to try it, because the worst that can happen is that you learn you didn't really want to do that, but you picked up experience on the way. I'm a huge proponent of chasing your dreams and doing it. But man, there was no way when I was swinging that hammer for the first couple of times, first of all, that I ever thought I would be able to pull this off, because my arm hurt so bad. I would film and I'd have to stop and take a break because I thought the muscles were going to explode in my arm. Ryan, how's it going around my property? Saw or heard a wolf, owls, whoops, knock, knock. Nothing, man. I've had moose in the yard. I need to get a game camera because I know that moose show up here all the time. But other than that, eagles flying over. They've been paying a little more attention to the chickens lately, but I've got the top of that run covered with chicken wire, so they're pretty much safe. But other than that, not really a lot. Lots of rabbit activity. Other than that, nothing much. Run a fan of two when possible. I'll need to pick one up because I'll probably need one during the summer anyway, I would imagine. But yeah, a fan wouldn't hurt. For sure wouldn't hurt. And I just dropped another percentage point on the humidity. So I'm going to do this while we have the warmer weather. Open the window. Cecilia, how are you? Great to see you. Glad you could make it today. Good to see you. No, I mean swinging lightning. So for those that don't know, the E-swing framing hammer got the nickname Lightning actually from one of my viewers because he said I should call it that since it never strikes the same place twice. And then the mall is thunder. So I have thunder and lightning. Scrolling through here. There's Matt's comment. Driving there exactly one time before I couldn't remember much. All the photos look gorgeous for sure. So the one video that I have is it's called Fall in Turn Lake. Turn Lake is right above Cooper Landing. It's gorgeous. God, it's so beautiful. And Arthur Fiala, who's in here, Art actually stays up there every year. They rent the cabin right up there, just off the river. Him and his brother-in-law, and he usually brings his boys up. And Art's building out here in Funny River this summer. So Art stays there all the time. He could tell you all kinds of stuff about Cooper Landing. It is beautiful. If I could afford to buy land any place that I wanted in Alaska, I would probably buy in Cooper Landing or in the Cooper Landing area. Phenomenal. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Glad to finally catch you live. Josh, welcome. Good to have you here, my friend. Was my third video where I said a nail gun was not in my future, right? Yeah, I wasn't buying one. And then Ward just got so mad, and it was the third video of building. Ward just got so mad watching me try and swing a hammer that it's funny. Whenever I mention a tool that I'm probably not going to get one. I know Ward, if he's watching right now too, he starts fuming watching me because he shows up the next day and drops the tool off in my house. But between Ward's nail gun and then Todd's nail gun, and the only reason why I switched nail guns is because we ran out of nails for Ward's gun. Todd goes, well, I got a nail gun. I got a bunch of nails. But yeah, I wasn't going to buy one. That was for sure. Will I buy one down the road? Probably, most definitely. But I still do like swinging a hammer. The walls that I'm going to build in the kitchen and the bathroom behind me here will be nail guns because I don't want to swing a hammer like this. No way, because I have to run the 2x4 on the joist for the loft, so I have to run a 2x4 across there, and then I have to run the 2x4 on the floor, which means that all the 2x4s that are nailed in for the walls will be toe-nailed. I'm not doing that. I'm going to use a nail gun. Lone Wolf, good to see you, my friend. So what's next? Since the cabin's almost done, what are you going to do next? Go to Disneyland? I'm going to Disneyland. No. So I won't finish the cabin, obviously, in the time I have left in this winter. And that means by finish, I mean I won't have the floor, the wood on the walls, and all that stuff. So interior cabin work, most of that's going to probably be done from now until I can get outside. And then from fall, once I can't work outside anymore, through the winter, that's when I'll do all the rest of the inside stuff. And I have a ton of plans for what I want to do inside. With the exception of the insulation, obviously, as soon as it dries out, I'm going to throw the insulation in on the floor. And then when I put the roof in, I'd like to, at that point, put the wood stove in too, which I don't have, because I want to be done with the roof when I'm done with the roof. So my plans for this summer are definitely the garden. So when I rented the skid steer and I did the video of me with the skid steer, I was not only leveling out the area where the cabin was going to be and starting to push some earth up towards where I eventually would like to have a small high tunnel, a small little greenhouse, because it gets great sun. But I cleared out the area over to the side over here on the other side of the chicken coop for a garden. So there'll be a big garden going in. I'd like to build a new chicken coop that I can actually stand up in and walk in to clean out, because this one is a bear to keep clean. And all the birds are pretty much hanging out together now. So I think that would not be an issue. It'd be a whole lot more simple, though, for me if I had a bigger chicken coop. So I'll throw one of those up. I need to build a storage building / generator shack over on this side of the cabin for the generator and the snow blower and where I can hang up my chainsaws and that kind of stuff. So a lot of outdoor projects. I'd like to build a smokehouse this year so I can smoke some of the salmon that I plan on catching, because I didn't fish last year. So a lot of projects. So outdoor projects when the weather permits, indoor projects when the weather doesn't permit, but I have so much more to do here. and so many more plans for the property. It's crazy. What's the start of my story from Cali to Alaska? I got divorced in California years ago, and I moved to Fairbanks, Alaska, because I was not in the right frame of mind after that came down. And I got the bug for Alaska. I mean, I'd been in love with watching Dick Prenicky and all that stuff as a kid growing up, and I'd been in love with the state forever. But when I moved here, I said, my God, I got to spend the rest of my life here. And I ended up moving back to California. I moved from here to Texas, and then for work, and then from Texas back to California. And both my daughters ended up living with me. My oldest one for a while, and then my youngest one moved in. And my plan was always to move back. So when she graduated from high school, I moved back to Alaska with no intent of ever leaving the state again. I am where I want to be. And I spent quite a few years while I was down in California watching YouTube and watching people like Dave Whipple at Bush Radical, Russell at Raspberry Rock. MDF I actually found once I moved up here, but a bunch of different videos of how people would build cabins. And I wanted something simple, and I wanted something off-grid. My intention was always to be off-grid. That would work for me. That would be my final home. So that's kind of the story in a nutshell of how I got here and why I'm here. Right? Yeah, exactly. Art commented on that. I knew he would, because Cooper Landing's gorgeous. God, it's beautiful up there. They got moose, they got bears, they got salmon, they got everything up there. Ryan's comment, make sure you get 18 to 21 trail camps point at the property and some point out of the area. Exactly, yeah. So I want to get some point in and some point out, because the wildlife that walks. I mean, Todd came over yesterday and he said, "Oh, I see you had a moose in your yard." I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I just followed the tracks all the way up. I never saw it." William says, "I grew up swinging a hammer for my dad, so I decided to learn how to turn wrenches." Right? I grew up as a baker for my dad, so I wanted to learn how to swing a hammer. I do love to bake, though. I do love to bake. I am. I'm sitting in the cabin with a futon. For those that don't know, I just spent the last 3 nights sleeping in here. So I slept in here Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. I'll be back in the trailer tonight, mainly because all my work stuff is in there, and that's where I edit video and everything. But I have been sleeping in the cabin the last 3 nights, and it's been phenomenal. Oh, the first night was the picture that I used for the thumbnail for this live today was me this morning with the kerosene lamps going on, and I just brewed coffee, and I was just sitting back. Phenomenal, just incredible. Here's an update on the football game. Eagles extended their lead 27-7. Third quarter's almost over. I'm sure my brother is very ecstatic right now, because if you weren't looking at the chat earlier, Joseph and I were talking, and Joseph's from Philly. My brother is a diehard Eagles fan. I was talking to my mom today, and she said if the Eagles get behind in a game, my brother will just stop and walk out of the room and go, because she lives with my brother now. And my brother just won't talk to anybody until he hears somebody say the Eagles scored, and he'll come back out again. He is the definition of the word fanatic. I think I got behind here again. I'm going to try and catch up a bit. Man, we got a lot of people in here. Thank you guys for joining me today. I love doing these when there's a ton of folks in here. Fishy, a little fish in the kitchen. Good to see you. Stonewall from Germany. Very cool. I think you are the first person I've ever had in a live chat from Germany. Awesome. Glad you could make it, my friend. Hey, Ward, it's on Alaska. No intention of buying a fireplace. Yeah, Ward, I really have no intention of buying a fireplace right now. Lipstick Lodge, glad you could make it as well. Awesome to see you. And again, if I miss your comment, guys, and it was directed towards me, by all means, throw it in again in caps, because I'm trying to scroll through and catch up a bit here. I want to make sure I get to everybody that actually leaves a comment or a question. David says, am I going to expand my solar capacity? Yeah, I actually have a second panel that Todd gave me. So I have the 2 solar panels. And you know what? I'm going to pick the camera up again, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing for power in here right now. Besides the generator running, and let me show you that real quick. So I have the generator running. And it's running actually right outside the door there. But if you look over here, there's a cord that's coming out of the wall. That's going to actually be where the staircase is. So that's where my power is going to come in from the generator, and everything's going to be under that stairwell that's going to be built there. But right now, I'm doing everything off of a 50 amp hour Optima battery and a 400 watt full sine wave inverter. And I use that to charge up all of my camera gear and my power bricks and that kind of stuff. So spin this around again here. So while I eventually plan to have more electric in the cabin, I had a lot of comments on why I wasn't putting outlets in the wall. The power is going to come from underneath that stairwell, and it's going to go, if you see the floor joist behind me for the loft, it's going to go through those. So I'll have lighting in the bathroom and an outlet. I'll have lighting in the pantry and probably an outlet. And then this wall that's going to be, the first wall that's going to be in the kitchen, the one that's going to be on the inside, will have power coming off on it as well, so that I can charge stuff up. But generally, and there'll probably be power coming right outside of the wall of the stairwell, so maybe I'll throw a TV monitor or something over there. But other than that, I'm going to keep it as minimum power as possible, because I just really love the fact that I don't have to pay a whole lot for electricity, and I can run a lot of stuff without it. I've learned to live without it, and I really enjoy how peaceful it is in here. Speaking of which, Ward, good to see you, brother. How you doing, my friend? Scroll back through here, Ward. Build a pole barn to house chickens and feed another part of any tools and storage needed. One building, exactly. One building is less projects, but I kind of like building stuff now. So I'm going to probably build now until the day that I die, because this has been so fun. But I'm going to do some different types of building as I go, because I want to learn how to do some different stuff as I go. Awesome. You're welcome, Thomas. Not a problem at all. Rebel Canners, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here today. You're never late. You're always on time. Whenever you show up, that's exactly when you needed to be here. What am I putting on the inside? Drywall, pine boards, etc. The bathroom and maybe part of the kitchen will be the only places that I would consider drywall. The rest of it will all be wood. So it'll be a wood floor that I'm actually going to build out of dimensional lumber. And then it'll be a wood ceiling that I'm going to make out of, I'm thinking now that I'll make out of the same width dimensional board. So we'll have that matching on both sides, and then it'll be wood on the walls as well. And right now I'm looking at pine all the way around for all of it, because it's a cabin. I don't really care if the floors get beat up. It's just going to add more character to it. So that's kind of the game plan for right now. The bathroom, I'm thinking I'm just going to get cedar fence posts and use cedar on the walls inside the bathroom, because cedar in a bathroom is just an automatic no-brainer. Cedar holds up really well to moisture. But I'm still kind of thinking about what I want to do and where I want to do it. There'll be some rock work in here behind the fireplace. I can do that myself. I feel pretty comfortable doing that, even though I've only done minimal amounts of it. But it's always a work in progress, right? If I decide I want to change something, I just change it. It's mine. I don't really owe anything on it. So, dude, yeah. But the shipping up here would probably cost more than buying the tools. So, well, I appreciate that. That's, for me, when you live in Alaska, shipping anything up here is just ridiculous. Exactly, right, Thomas? Just waiting for that one last thing to happen. But that doesn't mean you can't start now, right? You can start learning now about how to do different things and how to work on different things. I don't know what your skill set is, but you can sure pick up a lot before you actually do it. And that's what I tell people all the time. I tell my kids all the time, if you think that might be interesting to you, then start doing stuff in that vein to teach yourself. And you may find out, A, that you don't want to do it, or you may find out, even more importantly, B, that is where you want to be. And it'll help nurture your it'll help nurture your knowledge and nurture your love or disregard for anything. Just start teaching yourself. There is something to be said for people who swing a hammer. I watch a lot of building videos, and I watch people that know how to actually swing a hammer, and they just make it look like a dance when they're working. It's amazing to me. Mike McKinley, good to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it today. I'm fantastic. I hope you are as well. I hope you are good as well. Oh, wow. Wet saws, right, for tile work. Perfect. Perfect. Hey, Long's Quest, good to see you. Tink, how are you? Good to see you as well. Is there a list of the other friends that do videos? I don't really have a list on that. I mention them in lives quite a bit of people that I watch. Obviously, I watch My Self-Reliance because anybody who builds a place anywhere in the remote lands wants to build like Sean James. We're like Dick Prentice, or we're like Sean was and I was with Dick Prentice. I could do that someday. I'll do that. But he's like the Yoda of off-grid builds. It's incredible what he's been able to accomplish. Dave Whipple at Bush Radical, fantastic, just fantastic. MBF, because they've built now their second place, and they're off-grid, but their place is much more modern, much more modern feel than mine is. What else? They're nice people, though. They're super nice people. An Alaskan homestead. They actually live, Brian and his wife actually live on an island outside of Juneau, down in that part, the tail part of Alaska. He's got some neat videos and some neat stories. And a lot of what he does is all on his own as well, because he can't just run to the store and pick something up. When he needs lumber, I was watching a video he did today. When he needs lumber, he's basically got to go to Juneau, put it on his boat, and bring it back out to his place. So, I mean, those are just some of the channels that I like to watch. Wild Wonderful Off-Grid. I love watching those guys. I love watching Simple Living Alaska, because they have, well, they didn't really build their house. All their outbuildings that they've done have just been phenomenal watching them. And she has probably the greatest garden I've ever seen. Those are my dreams, right? I'm like, if I could have a dream like, those two have, if I could have a garden like those two have, oh. So those are just some channels I watch on a regular basis. Much more too. If I missed one, I'll think of it. I'll say it later. I watch Scotty at Scotty's Backyard Barbecue, because I keep threatening to one day use that offset smoker I have and do a brisket, because I've never smoked a brisket before. I figured you'd be going to watch the Chiefs game. Awesome. That I was telling somebody. So there's been like, emotional highs and emotional lows from doing this kind of thing. And the first night in that trailer on this property, where I just had the kerosene lamps for light and I didn't really have anything wired up, was a huge emotional high for me. Thursday night in this cabin, where I had the kerosene lamps and no real lights or anything else, was a huge emotional high for me. Not really emotional lows. There's some frustration that gets in there, but I'm a pretty upbeat, pretty positive guy. Wasn't always, but I've learned over the years that it takes a lot less of your energy to be a positive, happy person than it takes to be a negative person, because you got to hold on to negativity, and positivity just seems to flow from you when you let it. So I haven't really had a lot of lows. But I think the thing that's going to wipe me out emotionally is when that trailer gets removed from this property. When that is pulled off of this property, I mean, right now I'm getting just goosebumps thinking about it. That's going to be a huge, huge day for me. Oh, did you? Right on, man. Cool. When it comes to the calendars, I don't advertise them that much. I just let people know when they're available and ready. But every single picture that is in those calendars, I took myself. Most of them are generally from the Kenai Peninsula. So you can go take a peek at it. The link is on the top, pinned to the top of the chat bar. Feel free to go take a look at it. I think I have a link below every one of my videos except for the live videos right now. And I don't really push them, but I've had some good response to them. I get some gorgeous pictures, and half of those are taken with the cell phone camera. But the eagle pictures were taken with a lens basically from where I'm sitting right now to the front of my pickup truck away from eagles. Just phenomenal, great pictures. Scotty's back. That's the second time I've heard it called that. I didn't know that this was called buffalo plaid, right? I've just always called that plaid, but it's my flannel sleeping bag and then my fuzzy blanket. Both of these will be going back into the trailer, because the flannel sleeping bag lays on my mattress in the trailer, and the fuzzy blanket is what I use on top to keep myself warm. So I do the cell phone because that is my television. That is my access to the world. And that allows me to upload videos, I can video chat with my kids. But that's the only thing here that I have that would be considered grid connected, I think, at this point. I mean, sure, I buy propane for my stove, and propane for my heater, and gas for my generator, but I need gas for my vehicle. I go to work every day. So I get all that stuff while I'm in town, but those are day-to-day expenses. But the cell phone's probably the only bill that I really have, other than credit cards. I do use credit cards for travel, for car rentals and stuff. It makes it really, really easy. Ward's house sitting in Soldotna. Oh, are you over at DJ's and Cindy's? Did they finally go out of state? Karen, how are you doing? It is great to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Have I figured out all my costs for drying in the cabin to date? So I had every intention of saving every single receipt and making sure that I did that. I didn't. I was terrible with it. But I can tell you that at this point right now, where I'm sitting in this cabin and I could probably move in, I have a total of $15,000 maximum invested in this right now. So that's no metal on the roof, but everything else pretty much completed, except for the finish work on the inside. About 15 grand for a 20 by 24 cabin. And that's pretty close. The property cost me $10,000. So $25,000 as it sits right now, with no debt on any of it. And that's just because I did work and save a ton of money before I got started on this. And it helped a great deal that I had my trailer parked on my buddy, I call him Brother Will's property, back behind there, because he wouldn't charge me anything. So I saved a ton of money not having to rent while I did it. And I ended up buying the property from him. And I just paid him monthly on the property. So, you know, I guess other than my truck expense, I really don't, my truck and my cell phone, I really don't have any recurring bills. And the truck will be paid off in the next couple of months. So the only thing that I need high electric for is a refrigerator, and you don't need a refrigerator. True. During the summer, it's nice to have one, though, and you don't really need a whole lot of electricity for the modern refrigerators. I keep looking at what I'm going to do for refrigeration and going back and forth. I could buy an off-grid refrigerator by a company called Unique, but they're expensive. Up here, they're like $2,000. I could buy a really nice refrigerator at the Orange store for a lot less, and I will have the electrical capacity to run it. So I'll probably go that route unless I get a heck of a deal on a Unique one. The stoves are a different situation. I may have to go the Unique route anyway because I want an oven, either that or a commercial oven, because I need an oven with a pilot light, and I can't buy one of those at the Orange store, which is our major appliance store in this area. I can't do that and keep the oven running because most ovens that you buy in the, well, every oven that you buy in the store has an electronic ignition for the pilot light in the oven. So it fires the electrician or fires the pilot light up and then allows your burner to burn. And it does that as it regulates the temperature. And I can't have that here because it's too much of a power draw. So I'll need a oven with a pilot light. But I can find that if I just go the commercial route and pick up a commercial oven. Have a great day at Walmart. Ryan, you as well. Glad you could make it today, my friend, if you're still here. But I suggest getting your porch built sooner rather than later because it'll give you a stable platform to cut wood on the outside. Yeah, I'm going to, as soon as the snow's gone in the front, or melted down enough, I'll build that front deck. And then I'll put some stairs into that front deck. Because as Brother Will says, he doesn't want to get a 911 call at 2:30 in the morning when Sean steps out on the ladder to climb down out of his house. But there is plans to get that done pretty quick. Exactly, right? So you did that, David. If you know somebody who's doing something that you can go help them with it, you'll learn a ton just by helping somebody else do it. Gator, Mr. 100, my literally 100th subscriber right here. Yeah, this is a super thin. Matter of fact, this is from Wild Wonderful Off Grid. This is one of their hoodies. But yeah, just a light hoodie inside the cabin today. Temperature dropped down to 58. By humidity, though, has dropped down to 66 from 71. So I've lost quite a bit of humidity just by opening that window. I like it. Kaylin says that she'd be watching now, but she's making spaghetti. Oh, nice. You're getting spaghetti for dinner, Joe? Very cool. Tell her I said hi. Like to make houses 8 foot long, 16 wide trailers, and sell them 5. Oh, wow. Very cool. Very cool. Joseph says, I live approximately 14.8 miles from Lincoln Finance. Oh, where the Eagles play, and you can hear the stadium noise from your backyard. Very cool. Donald Reynolds, good to see you. Glad you can make it today. Right? That's a good comment. If you're not familiar with Anything that you can do, any little project. So that's the chicken coop was my first foray into building anything, and I made a ton of mistakes on that. Oh my gosh. There's another great example, right? Just to learn new skills, go to work for somebody. That's the easiest way to learn. Take a part-time job working for somebody. Even if it's volunteer work, you're going to learn something from people who actually know what they're doing. The amount of, so Ward, other than, you know, when we were actually laying the flooring on top of the decking for the cabin, Ward pretty much just let me cut loose and do my own thing. He would make suggestions. He would say when I was doing something, why are you doing it that way? Have you thought about doing this? And I learned more from that than any amount of videos that I ever watched. It was amazing. Charles and Annalyn, how are you guys doing from the Philippines? Welcome. Good to see you guys. Scrolling down. Yeah, right. Todd's got an LP fridge. Oh, that might be in the plans. I'd like a hot tub and I'd like a sauna. I would like them both. I don't know if the hot tub's feasible in winter, but it sure would be nice to sit in one of those when it's about 25 degrees below zero outside. And, oh, I'm looking out the window and it's snowing right now. Nice. Exactly, right? There's a million different ways to do something, but in the end, do what you want to do, because you know, my cabin is going to be different. Well, my cabin's completely different than, say, Dave Whipple at Bush Radical, or Jeremy and Ashley at Mapleberry Farms, or Jay and Jen at Jay and Jen's Off Grid. That's another channel that I love to watch. But we all have some things that are in common, but then we all deviate and do something that we want. It's your place. If you're ever going to do something like this, build what you want, build what you would love to have, because there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Yeah, Ariel is an incredible gardener. I imagine she's already got her plant starts going now. It just frustrates me to see how well her garden does. My plan for the trailer is to either sell it or give it to somebody who wants to do the same exact thing or needs it. That's my plan for the trailer. I'd like to see it go to somebody who needs it, because I sure as heck don't. And I would entertain all offers on this thing, definitely. Without a negativity, it's like oxygen. Only you can fix it. Only you can fix it, Jess. Believe me, this is coming from a guy who would snap at a moment's notice and go completely ballistic in no time at all. And now I am pretty much, oh, really? Yeah, great. Have a nice day. Talk to you later. You know, I'm out of there. Yvonne, thank you very much for popping in. It was awesome to see you. The temp out here, Ward, I think is about 30. It was 30 earlier, but it's probably gotten a little colder now that I'm seeing snowfall, and it's just light snow. Yeah, I work a full-time job, 40. Well, normally it's 40 hours a week, but right now, you know, things are a little bit on the slow side, and I got a guy that works with me, and if I work 5 days, he only gets 3. So I have a ton of vacation time built up, and I've been taking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Normally my days off are Saturday and Sunday. So I'm working like 32 hours a week and then working on the cabin as well. But yeah, work full time. I have ever since I got here. Jonathan's got a comment. Backside of the moon, Sneedville, Tennessee. Awesome to have you here, Jonathan. Glad you could make it. Granny Lana, how are you? It's good to see you. So behind on everyone. Oh, shingles. No. Ouch. Brother Will had that. I've been, knock on wood, very lucky, because I've had chicken pox, and you can get shingles from once you've had chicken pox. My youngest brother got chicken pox when he was like 35. That poor guy. I spent Thursday night, Friday night, and last night, Saturday night, in the cabin. I slept in here, and that'll be, definitely I'll share that in a future video. But I still have some more things I want to get done in here before I move in full time. I have everything I need to do what I need to do life-wise in the trailer right now, and I don't have it in the camper or in the cabin. So that's the easier fix right now, and it allows me to get more stuff done. But got a futon here from Brother Will, and have been crashing in here the last couple of nights, and I'll be out here next weekend as well. Destiny, good to see you. I don't think I said hello. Awesome to see you. And again, guys, if you got a comment and I miss it, by all means, throw it back up in caps so I can catch up. And I won't end the live before I'm pretty sure I've answered everybody's comments here. Wendy Benjamin, good to see you. Glad you can make it. You're really late, but that's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Exactly, right? If you want to learn how to build a shed. So if you want to learn how to build anything, build something small and learn. Because I learned a ton of what not to do when I built that silly chicken coop. I learned a ton from that. So much so that now that I'm thinking that, okay, if I'm going to build a chicken coop this year and it's going to be big enough for me to walk in, probably 10 by 10, I'm thinking that that is almost a weekend project at this point because I feel so much more comfortable with how to do it. So why the decision for the hot roof? Just curious, not criticizing, because I'm cheap. And because I wanted vaulted ceilings, and this was the easiest way for me to do it. I wanted those big open ceilings up above me, and I wanted the space in the loft, and I didn't want dead space above my ceiling. So that's the reason why I went that way. If I would have gone, there's other ways I could have gone. So 50 Acres in a Cabin is another video that I watch, or another channel that I watch, and he's just a great guy as well. He's a craftsman. His woodwork is phenomenal. It's I call him Norm Abrams because it's on that level of New Yankee Workshop craftsmanship. And his roof cost a ton more than mine did just because of the foam that he put on the outside. It's phenomenally done. But I wanted the open beam ceilings, and I'm cheap. So that's kind of the reason why I went with what I did. There you go, right? Volunteer. Habitat with Humanity will teach you how to build houses. Exactly. If you want to, that is a great, and it'll teach you modern methods of how to build. Where mine is probably not, you probably don't want to watch Sean in Alaska to learn how to build something right. Right? Nice. And you can take your time when you're building for yourself. You can say, I don't really like that, and take it down and redo it. You can. Where when you hire a contractor, he's going to be like, that'll work. Stop. I mean, although Ward's told me a couple times, Sean, stop. You're fine. Leave it. Still scrolling through here real quick. Oh, good. I got down towards the bottom. Deborah's saying, Sean, watch Simply Living Alaska installed a diesel heater inside a hard shell. I saw that. I was watching that today, but here's how I am with a video. I'll watch it, and if it's something that I get to a point where I go, I'm never going to do this, I stop. Eric is multi-talented. He can do some crazy stuff. But when I saw that, all I thought was, I could just buy that freaking diesel heater ready to go. I don't need to build one. I mean, you can literally go on Amazon right now and buy all kinds of them for almost nothing. I'm not putting that kind of work into something that I don't need to do. Kudos to him for doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, yeah. I was starting to watch that this morning. I got about 10 minutes into it, and I go, why am I watching this when I will never build one of those? That is something that is not even remotely in something I would plan on doing down the road. I would just go buy a diesel heater, and I'm probably going to buy a diesel heater. To me, that just didn't make any sense. But like I said, he's super talented, and he does some great stuff. The two of them make some really, really neat stuff. My eventual outdoor woodshed will be planned on how they built theirs, because I think they did an incredible job on that. My outhouse is based off of Bush Radical's outhouse. My chicken coop is built off of, and I forget his name, so I feel real bad about it right now, because the name of his channel is his name, and he's in Idaho, but it's built off of his coop design. So I definitely will take stuff from other people and tweak it to what I want to do. But then there's some stuff I'm just never going to build on my own. Right? Yeah, I can. But here's the problem with sleeping in the cabin right now, right? Is that when it gets dark, it's all I can do to stay awake past, say, 7:30 at night, because it's dark and I just want to go to sleep. So my body clock kicks in. It's a huge deal. Huge deal for me. Right, for a cabin open, I agree. I mean, it's a cabin, it's not a house. If I was building a house, I would probably do it different, but I would probably have at least one room with a big cathedral ceiling anyway. But for a cabin, it has to, especially with the loft. Here, I'm going to spin the camera back, and I'm going to show you guys real quick. And I know we're going to run along here a little bit. That's fine. So here is, right, I can't really zoom out, but here is my cabin, right? There's the loft. There's so much room up there. But then here too, right? So here is my main wall, and then ceiling, 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 all the way up, all the way up. And that, to me, it just, when you're in a small structure like this, having that open ceiling just makes the place seem so much bigger. It doesn't seem so tight and small. And that was huge for me. I hate to hear that, man. I hate to hear when they get frustrated like that. Love Graham at Woodness Goodness and his channel. I just watched him put the door on the Dookie Den. He's building a cabin as well, and he is. You want to talk about positive and upbeat? You watch that guy. When you're done watching that guy, you're smiling because he is so upbeat. He is so positive. I love watching Woodness Goodness. Watched his video yesterday, as a matter of fact. And he just, congratulations to him and his wife. They just had a new baby, which was awesome. Outsider, another channel that I watch and love, but I haven't kept up with the Outsider. I need to catch up. I watch a lot more videos, obviously, in the winter than I do in the summer because I'm way too busy. But I've been way busy this year too. Mom said that you had chicken pox everywhere in places. Yeah, said they were the worst she'd ever seen. I don't remember. Thank God. I think shingles is actually much more painful than chicken pox. From everything that I've heard, shingles is much more painful than chicken pox. Still scrolling through here. We're getting pretty much towards the end. If anybody's got any last minute questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat now and let me know so that I can answer them before we go here this week. But I'll be live again next Sunday. And it'll be 1 o'clock Alaska time, which is 2 p.m. Pacific. And you guys can figure out we're like -9 from Greenwich, from the UK right now. So anybody that was on from the UK or Germany was up real late to watch it. Grace, awesome you could be here. Very cool. Oh, I think I've got pretty much everybody covered here. Destiny has a question. For your future stove, am I going to go the Lazit route with the longer propane tank attachment or the Russell way with the... could go either way. Not sure yet. It'll depend on how much propane use I have in the house. So I'm going to probably go, and I'll speak to the one I know of. So Mapleberry Farms off-grid. It's got the 2 tall 100-pounders. I'll probably go that route so that I could switch them in and out. I'm going to have a water heater in here, and I'm going to have a water barrel in here so that I can have hot water running in here, even though I'll have to haul it and store it myself. So I'll need an on-demand water heater, and it would be much easier to have a small bottle, one of these 20-pound bottles, on that on-demand water heater because it's not going to use that much propane, where I will have a bigger bottle connected to the stove because I will be using that more often. So more than likely, I won't run a single gas line and then stub off of that. I'll probably just run individual because those are the 2 main things I'm going to use. That's probably what I'll do. Alan, I have not. But again, it's more than anything, it's just because I've been too busy to go look up anybody new, and it hasn't been suggested to me on YouTube yet. But I've been a ton too busy to spend a whole lot of time watching videos as opposed to, doing the things that I need to do. Nice. Very cool. Mary, have yourself a great day. Glad you could stop in today. Everybody else, Jess has got a question here real quick. I don't know if I missed it, but any plans for an outdoor summer kitchen? Yes, but that probably won't happen this year. I would like to build a wood-fired oven in my backyard, because I would like to bake bread in a wood-fired oven, and I would like to have pizza out of a wood-fired oven. So yeah, that will probably happen. But that won't happen this year. I've got way too many other things that I'd like to do. The garden's the number one priority, as well as the outside work that I have to do on the cabin and the chicken coop and the smokehouse. So those are all real serious, big-time priorities. And then we'll add whatever we can to that. With that, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. Let you guys all get out of here and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Thanks for watching the videos, for the thumbs up, for the comments, for the shares. Thanks for the confidence and the encouragement that I get from you guys every single video that I create. I think I enjoy YouTube more just for that than anything else. As always, have yourself a fantastic week. Hope to see you again soon. I am Sean in Alaska, and we will talk to you again in the next video, and we'll talk to you again for sure next Sunday. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day. I'm going to get out of here. Todd, call me for stairs. Will, but it's raining. It looks like snow out there to me, dude. See you guys. Have a great day.